Hey guys, it's Jen, and I'm excited to share something with you today. If you followed me for a while, you might know that I'm very into hand lettering. I was really into it for a while. I have a class that's on brush lettering, mostly using a paintbrush. So I was really excited when I was asked to try out this new Kelly Creates humongous Learn Brush Calligraphy Kit. It's actually called Learn Brush Lettering by Kelly Creates, and it's on at Joann. And so I want to show you all of the stuff it comes with. There's a lot included. It is a big kit. It comes in a huge box. This is a great gift item, and in fact I think I'm going to give this either to my daughter or to my friend's daughter after I kind of play around with it a little bit, because I kind of already know brush lettering, and so I think this would be a great gift for somebody who's just starting out. But let's go ahead and talk through what is included. So first of all, we have two large lettering workbooks, and one of them is for small brush tip pens and one of them is for large brush tip pens, and both are included in the kit, so you'll see that in a little bit here. But you'll just notice when you open them up, okay, here's one thing I love about these. They flip all the way over. I hate when there's a you have to deal with the top of something flipping. I love that this is spiral bound on the top. That way your arm can go all the way across it, whether you're lefty or a righty, and you have no problems there. So at the very beginning, when you're very first starting out, what it shows you how to do is how to do these strokes. So these are like practice little strokes. So this is meant to be used over and over again, and so it has pieces of, is it vellum? I'm sure it says at the beginning of it, paper. Friction is the enemy of the brush pen, and using extremely smooth paper is essential. So there's a silky smooth paper on here, which is this, it's like a really thin vellum, and it is very smooth. And there are 3 sheets for these strokes. I think there's 3 between each one, so that you can practice them multiple times. And you're going to go ahead and use the small brush lettering pens on this one. So it goes through the different kinds of curves, and then you get into ovals. Then we get into putting some of the letters together. And so I think it's mapped out by what kind of curve the letter uses. And so rather than going in alphabetical order, you're starting with the ones that use these basic strokes. That is just, it kind of maps it out here for you too. Let me bring it a little bit closer for you. So you can see this is an upstroke, this is a downstroke. So it's really teaching you how to get that done. And if you want to practice directly on the paper, there is room for that. But I would definitely suggest using the paper that's in between, and then once you go through that paper, you can just buy another vellum paper to use to practice on top of it, so that you can keep using it over and over, or even pass it down to your child or to whoever you want to pass it down to. But so there's all of the letters in here. It goes through the lowercase and then it goes through the uppercase. So this is the small brush tip pen, and then for the large one, I won't go through all the beginning because it's just the same, but it's using a larger pen, so there's obviously a larger surface. And I wanted to try to show you the same page so you can see the difference here in the size. So this is a small brush pen and this is a large one, and you'll use both probably depending on what kind of lettering that you're creating for different things. So as I mentioned, this kit comes with both kinds of pens, and so that is great. Those are the 2 large workbooks where you're going to learn most of your skills from. Okay, then it also comes with, let's see if I can find a place to stick these while I'm talking to you about it. Off to the side here. It comes with 2 practice pads. I've got it stuck to something. Okay, so there's one that has a grid and one that is blank. I think using a grid is great if you want to do some straight across lettering. I like to really mix mine up, so this is good for you know, if you're gonna like fit your words in together or anything like that. So there is a blank one and a grid one, and they're smaller, so you could travel with them a little bit more easily. They don't have any sort of instruction in them. It's basically just a blank pad that you can take, and it doesn't have, the paper isn't rough or anything, but this is more of definitely a practice paper, not a really great paper. So just to keep that in mind. So it comes with a bunch of traceable stamps. And what this is, I will actually open and show you. Okay, it's the 2 sets. All right, so there are in total, I mean, I guess if you're counting the alphabet and the phrases, there are 83 stamps total. So you can do a word, and this is great if you wanted to create a card. So it comes with these, and then it comes with an ink. This is light gray because it's meant to be stamped, and then you can trace over it. And so what you trace will cover what you trace over. So that's why you have the light gray, so that you can easily cover over the top of it. And so that's great for practicing these words that she already has put together. And then there's lots of good things in here. I noticed certain letters are sometimes tricky to do, like an R after, let me put this behind it. An R after another letter where it comes up a little bit can be kind of tricky to get to know. The T and H is a good one to get to know different ways to do that, and I really like crossing my T with the line of the H like she's done there. And so these are good for practicing letters connecting as well. So so you can get a feel for that, because you'll need that as well. Well, I do know that there are, I think this is the project pack. It's these right here. So it's just really smooth cardstock for final lettering projects, and there is black. There's a whole bunch of white, which is very smooth, and then there's some craft, which craft just naturally isn't that smooth. So I'm not exactly sure why it says that smooth cardstock, but the white is very smooth. But just 3 different kinds so that you can try the different kinds of pens, which we'll go over in a second. So there's a bunch of paper for you to do some final projects on. And then you're also going to get some practice projects. So it comes with some cards. There are 3 cards in here, and these are traceable cards, so you can practice your hand lettering on the front of the card. So you can see it's this light gray. That's kind of how the stamping will work too. And then you've got a pretty card that you can say you hand lettered, right? There's a thank you card. Maybe for practice we'll do these cards just to show you kind of how it works. But so you've got 3 cards, and then you've also got some quotes that are traceable as well. And these would be great to letter and then put up in your house if you wanted to. So we've got a family is a little world created by love. And it's got kind of a watercolor background, so you just go over the white here. Each day is a gift. So that one's in a light gray that you can go over. Listen to your heart. And you are stronger than you think. This one would be fun to color in the flowers too if you wanted. Okay, so these are all with the large brush lettering. You can tell they're larger, and the cards are with a smaller brush pen. So depending on the size of your project is probably going to determine what size of brush lettering pen you use. So let me show you the different ones that come in this kit. There are a lot of pens, and they seem nice. I haven't tried them yet, but they look really nice. So I'm excited to show you. There are different kinds, so I'm going to try to separate them. There are small brush pens, which are all these ones that just have the single side, and they show you what color they are on the cap. There's so many of them. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 small brush pens. So let me show you what a small brush pen looks like. We'll do a color. Okay, first of all, the nib is hard, which this is what I prefer for, let me show you on the paper. this is what I kind of prefer for brush lettering, is a hard nib. I think it's almost easier to work with something that's a little bit stiff, and so I think it works really well. Okay, so this is, well, it's been a long time now, I'm nervous. Small. So the thing about these nibs is they're flexible enough that when you push down, you'll get a thicker line, and when you lift up, you get that smaller line. Okay, so there's the small nib, and these work really nicely. So here's the black one, and you can push even, like, you can push harder than you think you would. And as you play, you'll get your very own style. Okay, so there's the small nib. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, actually. So there you can see what the small one looks like. Okay, and then we also get 3 black ones. So there's a large brush, a fine brush, a medium brush, okay? So the fine brush is like the ones we just used, like that small brush almost. So, but it's a little bit smaller, so fine. The tip will determine how thin you can get your thinnest lines. I'm very out of practice, but we are just gonna go with it. Okay, fine. Then we have, this one's the large, so I'm gonna write larger. And these ones are, some people find them easier. I can't decide what I find easier. I've kind of gone to a different style of lettering now, but there's the large. My hand isn't very steady. That's what practice will help with. And I haven't practiced in a while. So, and then the medium is more like these ones, not an actual brush. And really you want to do it slow. That's what's going to get you a better look. And I kind of like lift up after each one, but these are things that you'll learn as you practice. So I'm just wanting to show you what the kit comes with and what you can be capable of. Okay, there's the medium. I think I like the medium. All right, and then it also comes with a bunch of dream pens, which I'm not sure what dream pen means, but it has 2 tips. So we're going to guess that that's part of what it is. So we've got a brush tip on the end that's not as big as the brush tip that was on, like the large brush tip that was on that black one. See how big this one is compared to this one? So it's very much smaller than that large black one. And then on the other end, we have a fine brush. So this isn't that flexible nib like we saw on the other one. This is a real brush. So let's try this. So you're going to be able to get thicker downstrokes with this small end of the dream pen. And then with the other end, let's see, what word can we write now? Let's write Jen. It's just the same deal. You're just getting, it's like it's in between these two pretty much. Okay, so you're getting 8 dream pens. Look at these colors. I love this color. Pretty. There's some different kind of colors in here, and I like it. I'm liking the purples. Okay, and then in addition to that, you're also going to get 2 metallic pens. And these ones are called jewel brushes. And I'll just show you on my black sticky notepad here what they look like. So they have a brush tip as well. And this one is the silver. Ooh, these are really, I thought they were going to be stiffer. Wow, they're not. These are like really juicy. Sorry if that you don't like that description, but yeah, these are really like, I don't know, here's the gold. Sometimes I switch up my L's and my D's if I don't have enough room, then I don't do a loop. Okay, so there's the silver and gold. They're very metallic, very shiny. They are going to take some time to dry because they are very liquidy, and that's probably because they're new too. So you're getting all of that stuff, and in addition to that, you get this cute, let me zoom back out. You get this cute little tote bag that says Create Calm, and there's like 2 little pockets in here that you can put your pens in, so you can stick all your stuff in here and take your lettering stuff with you. It's just kind of cute, and the inside of it is lined with plastic so that if your pen were to come open on accident, it's not going to ruin the bag and leak through. So at least that's my assumption as to why it's that. But okay, let me show you a couple of things that we already looked at in the kit, and I will probably zoom back in. But the first thing I want to show you is the gray ink. So I just want to show you really quick, it does not come with a stamping block. So you will need to have a stamping block to use this, but you can just grab one of the words. I'm going to choose, let's see, there's certain words I like, or letters that I like to do more than others. Let's do a long one, and we'll do surrender. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my longer block. And you can tell it's a little bit sticky. So let's see how that works. Okay, I think I didn't quite get it inked up. It really doesn't matter too much because like I said, I'm going to trace over it, but I don't want to not be able to see what I'm stamping or what I'm writing. Okay, so let me zoom in a little bit so you can see that. It's not super clear, but you can definitely see it, especially in person. I'm not sure how it's showing up on camera, but you can definitely see it in person. Okay, that was better. Okay, so you're going to want to use the small brush pens for this because the large ones are going to be too large. So because when you write smaller, you need a smaller tip. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll do one of them with a dream pen, and I'll do one of them with one of those small brush pens. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the word believe in purple. So I'm just going to trace, whoa. Okay, so some ink bled out of that a little bit. You may want to just test them before you start going. Let's do this one at the top instead. Yeah, I've never had ink leak out like this. So it's a little bit inky, but we'll just try. Now, I don't know if I let this dry long enough, the ink, but it's so light that it probably shouldn't matter too much. So I'm just following along, and I missed a little join there. And so this makes it really easy. I mean, you can do it faster with this probably than on your own. And it's nice and straight. So that looks really good. Believe. Let's do our own little thing right here. In you. Okay, I'm a dork. All right, let's try surrender, and we're gonna do, let's do this like reddish colored dream pen. It's called Coral actually, so I'm gonna use the small tip of the dream pen. And this one I didn't stamp exactly correctly, so it'll just be what it'll be. So we're gonna just go, I can't see it, but I'm just gonna do what I want a little bit. So the slower you go, the more steady of a hand you'll have and the better results you'll get. I've always been a little bit impatient, but I think you still get good results, especially tracing. And I hope you can see like where I'm pushing down and lifting up, and that's something that you'll learn as you practice. Okay, so it's nice and straight. Surrender to me. Okay, there's my dorkiness coming out. All right, so let's go ahead and practice one of these cards. So these are really pretty. Actually, let's do all three because one of them we're going to do in metallic, even though, how's that going to work? Because this is so small. Well, we're just going to try. And we're going to do thank you first. Now this is teal, so we want to choose a coordinating color probably. I think purple actually would be really nice, or we could just do black. Let's just do black actually, and we're going to do the medium brush. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do the medium brush. Okay, so you can kind of see it here, and so I'm just going to follow those lines, and I'm taking a little bit, I'm going to take a little bit of extra care to try to really get them, and you'll do a better job than me because if I were to lean over where I want to, my head would be completely in the way. But you can get really close to it. Now she does her A open, but I like mine closed, so I'm just going to make it how I like it. Okay, and then the K comes out and down. K's were always kind of hard for me. All right, think. Now let's do you. And I like the way she does her O's. And I'm talking about Kelly from Kelly Creates, who created this kit. Okay, so there's our thank you card. Easy peasy, right? Looks nice and profesh-ish. But you can tell people that you hand lettered it, so that's cool. All right, let's try this happy birthday card now, and instead of black, we'll do a color, because we could do any color that we want. And we're going to do blue. Yeah, let's do blue. We're going to do this small brush pen. You know, we could do 2 different colors if we wanted to, but we won't. Not this time. Okay, this is really bright. That's okay. All right, so here's our H. There we go. I kind of like the 2 kinds of blue. We're going to do the last card, which I was going to do in a metallic, so we'll see if we can get this metallic to work because I'm nervous because it's so small. The lettering is so small on this that I'm not sure, but I don't think that a color would work unless I were to do black. So we're just going to try the gold, and it's going to be what it's going to be. I wanted to see if the gold matches this. I guess it kind of does. Okay. So I'm going to be very light-handed. Yeah, you just have to like almost not push. So I could do that. You just have to go slower too. Okay, actually I think I might like that one the best. I'm thinking of you. So that one turned out pretty nice. So I think it's a good value. Right now, I know it's half off at Joann.com. So if you are watching this video when it goes live, you should definitely go and check that out because this would be a great Christmas gift. And I hope that you enjoy. And we'll see you all again soon. Bye.